All right. So thank you, Jay. So let's talk about some stuff, because in the end, we're all kind of rule breakers, but there are some rules, and I have to talk about them. So, security and code of conduct. Code of conducts are incredibly important, and I know there's a lot of discussion about what a good code of conduct is, but we've got what I'm very proud of is a very good code of conduct, and whether you realize it or not, you chose to click on it when you registered. So it's nothing that's surprising, but I feel, and our organization feels, that a code of conduct is incredibly important. And the key thing is just remember to be kind, remember to be empathetic, remember to seek to understand, and everything will be fine. Just treat people like you want to be treated. So security perimeter and bag checks. Obviously, all of you have gone through those. If you leave, you will have to go back through. The good news, I'm shedding feathers, by the way. It's gonna look like somebody exploded a chicken up here. I'm sorry. So anyway, you'll have to come back through. Thankfully, though, it should be pretty quick because not everyone's gonna be trying to come in at the same time. Now, there was some conversation about this. I do want to make a statement about it while I'm on stage, though. I'm actually very happy that Full Sail does this. We live in a very kind of strange time, and this type of security is something that we're going to have to become a little more comfortable with. Now, are there things we can change, things we can do better? Absolutely. And one of the things that we're going to do, as we always do, is a transparency report to say, hey, this is the after action. This is what we need to do better, and this is what we thought we did really well. And last year we did a survey, and expect that survey. And last year we did a $100 gift card with the survey. So when you see it, give us that honest feedback. We want to get better. Your badge. Make sure you're wearing your badge. You are on a college campus. I'm not wearing mine right now, so security is going to haul me off the stage in about 2 seconds. But wear your badge. The badges are very cool. I've got mine up here. I didn't want it to bounce across the mic. But when you end up building them, and I'll talk about these in a second, these are fantastic devices made by John Singer, one of our board members, and then also Heather Lawrence, who did the graphics on them. So yeah, everyone cheer. People did work, and it was good. So keep in mind, we are guests here. We're all kind of rule breakers and whatnot, but we've brought you all kinds of cool stuff to poke on, all kinds of IoT devices, all kinds of CTF, and Full Sail's been a really great partner in making sure that the CTF pipes are not only fat, but open. So, please get in there and deal with that. So with that said, no unauthorized penetration tests. Not because you're curious, not because the thing looks vulnerable, just don't touch the stuff, please, thank you. So we gave you stuff to hack. Go poke it. There's an IoT village over there that we'll talk about in a minute. You can win really cool prizes. You can go break this stuff. Have at it. So we got feedback last year, and we tried to address it. You wanted more talks. You got 4 tracks of talks. You wanted more soldering stations. We doubled the soldering stations. Yes, more soldering stations. I like hot metal. So more food options. We're going to talk about that in a moment. We've got food trucks coming out as well, but there's tons of restaurants nearby. And within walking distance, so you can still make it out, make it back through security. You won't have a problem. But one of the things I'm really happy about is how good was the coffee? Who had the coffee this morning? Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a second. But Lineage is a local coffee roaster, and you guys were like, you didn't have coffee, you didn't have water last year, so we're like, fine. We're gonna go get the best coffee in Orlando, and you're just gonna have to like it. So a few updates. One of our food trucks, unfortunately, due to a completely understandable and unfortunate circumstance, is not going to be here. We're going to have 2. So if you're really looking forward to Carabama, BPQ, we do apologize. They had to pull out. And I promise you, man in rainbow hat and feathered trusted person to you, that they have a very valid reason. The Defensive Sec podcast recording, unfortunately, and this one I'm going to talk about in a little more detail, unfortunately will not be happening. We have a great backup speaker for you. They'll be in the same time slot here. And I do want to talk about that for a second. The co-host, Andrew Callett, wonderful guy, and unfortunately he had a medical emergency. I won't go into details, but I was able to say that. So please keep Andrew in your thoughts. He is recovering. We wish him an incredibly speedy recovery. And when he is ready to be here, we will be here for him. And I hope, I've been told that maybe Jerry's out in the audience. I haven't gotten a chance to see him yet. Oh, he's back there? Where is he? Hi. There he is. Hi, Jerry. And are you recording it for Andy? Andy, we love you. Get well. So yes, this is the kind of thing that happens. It's life. And there's some room changes on the map, so just pay attention to what room you're going to. The schedules are up on the room door, like on the actual room site, so just make sure that as things change around, you check them. I want to take a second to talk about that, specifically because of Andy's situation. I would be remiss having a stage and a feather boa and a rainbow hat to not say this. As a community, we need to do a couple things. Our health is important, empathy is important, and community is important. Life will happen. You're not gonna be 100% rock star all the time. And as long as we take care of each other and we help each other out and we recognize that health is important, both mental and physical, caring for people is important, and that building a community, like hopefully this one here, all you first-time B-Sides people, maybe you see each other at DEF CON, maybe you see each other next year, maybe you form friendships. That, more than anything, is what I'd like to see from this conference. So that's my 1 minute on stage that I want to do. So thank you. So I kind of already covered this slide, but that's okay. Water stations, we've got one back there. We've also got one over by the workshop. So if you need water, we've got something like 200 gallons of water, so please hydrate. And then also we have lineage. So we have 2 roasts out. We have a medium and a dark roast, and also the espresso machine. Who had the espresso? Anyone have the espresso yet? Is it delicious? Excellent. That's fantastic. All right, so food, we covered the food, but I did want to touch base on if you do leave, we wanted to make sure that there's tons of food options. You got gluten sensitivity, you've got other issues. There's plenty of restaurants around here. Curbside Chef will be inside by the soldering stations, though, around 10-ish a.m. And then there's Miller's, there's all kinds of stuff. If you just Google where you are, like, you can see restaurants from outside. So please do eat. So our soldering stations, we doubled them. Like I said, we got 12 of them. And these are so cool. Like, this is, if you didn't get some of these badges, this is work that John and Heather did, and it's amazing. So you might have gotten some of the SAOs, and since this is recorded for younger ears, I think we all know what SAOs are. But 8x8 programmable LEDs, DigiSpark USB. You can take this thing home and hack it and turn it into other projects. Super important to us that you get to, really play with this stuff. If you've never soldered before, we've got soldering stations. Go learn. This is what this is all about. Lockpick Village, so Tool Orlando. I cut the O out of that tool, that's no good. But Tool Orlando is over there. So if you've never picked locks, Willa and Ian Morehouse are over there. We got a lot of Ians on site today, which is weird. It's very unusual. But Ian Morehouse is over there with Willa. They're gonna be helping you get through some locks. There might be somebody else on site that knows about it. Anyway, so book signing. How many of you guys bought the Tribe of Hackers book? Yes. So excellent. We got 3 people down here, and I bought a bunch of books, so that's fantastic. Anyway. So 11 o'clock, Marcus, Ian, and Mr. Jeff Mann, who are the right authors, and in the book will be out there. We have a limited number of books. I think it's about 20. So if you're interested, come at 11. You can get a book, get it autographed. Be pretty awesome. So workshops. There he is over there. Excellent. So one of the things we want to touch on real quick is paid workshops. We did paid workshops this year, which is pretty unusual. But I wanted to say why. One of the things we've gotten feedback from speakers is, hey, I'd love to go do more of these talks, but if I went to everywhere that I wanted to go, I'd be paying like $50,000 a year out of my own pocket. So we're gonna take some of the money that you guys get great workshops at a low cost and put that into a speaker travel fund. So we can bring nationwide speakers here that would really love to come as long as we can cover their airfare and hotel, and you don't have to, trek out to Vegas or, wherever. So if you have a workshop, I know there was a few in the room, Jay Bunner, who was up on stage, Jay Bunner's work, who was up on stage just now, he is over at that door. Now is the time. Please, Exodus Las Facility, and I obviously don't know Spanish, and Jay will lead you over there. So he'll wait over there, he'll get everyone lined up if you haven't been over there already and get you to your appropriate rooms. So good, excellent. This is cool too. This is your actual, like, what you get in. You actually get a B-Sides custom sticker with the name of the workshop on it. So you actually get an extra sticker, which is pretty cool. So Sunshine CTF, Hack UCF has put together an amazing CTF for everybody. And it is over there. I highly suggest you participate in it because we have this. I knew this was the most exciting thing, yeah. So again, Heather Lawrence and her amazing work. We have the Sunshine CTF Championship Belt. Little history as to how this came about. We got a vaporwave theme, but look above you, everybody. Just look straight up. Not into the light, don't do that, but up. Notice that square above you? WWE Next is filmed in this room. So yeah, it is. That's where this came from. Yeah, so we went through and said, how do we pay an homage to that? And we had a belt made and did a wrestling themed CTF. So let's talk about the IoT CTF. We're almost through the slides, and you'll get to hear the better Ian speak. I was saving that joke for later, but I needed to do it. So anyway, IoT CTF, this is very cool. We put a bunch of IoT devices out there for you guys to hack. There was a video that I put up explaining a little bit more about it, but the short of it is, go over to the IoT CTF room. Do something to these cool devices. Make them do some stunt hack, make them do something fun. Record it, hashtag BesidesOrlando 2019 IoT on either Instagram or Twitter. Person with the most likes at the end of the day gets a NetWars continuous subscription worth over $3,000 from our friends at Sands. Okay, come on, that's cool. Yeah. So the only thing that we want you to do is make sure, we want you to show us the magic, but not the trick. If you happen to find some sweet, sweet Ode, maybe we help you do some responsible disclosure, but maybe show the funny thing doing the thing. That was really clear instruction, so I hope everybody got that. Speakers, this is cool. This is one of the things we pride ourselves on. So if you're a speaker at B-Sides Orlando, we love you. We can't have this conference without you. So we worked with our friends over at Mechanical Gifts. If you're a B-Sides organizer watching this later, these people are legit. And had them take their combination lock, laser engrave it. It's a full 3D, movable, little neon colors there, and it is fantastic. And we get this because the speakers to us are one of the most important things. There's no conference if they're not sharing their knowledge with you. So it's very important to us that they don't walk away with like a bunch of USB tchotchkes and whatnot. That it's something cool. Here's the other cool thing. Let's say you're like, man, I didn't speak, but I really love that thing. There's one at the silent auction, and over some, let's say bourbon, it was bourbon, we made this plaque. So it's B-Sides Orlando 2019. I didn't speak, but I did win the auction. So you can get that. Auction closes at 4 p.m., so if you're a sniper, get over there like, I don't know, 358, and bid it up, because money. So this is one of the last slides, by the way. So this is your map. I just kind of want to point out, you're up here in Full Sail Live. You'll come back out through registration. You kind of wind your way around and come in through those buildings. Pretty much everything else is there with some stuff in between. So there's just 2 buildings. We got a lot of signage out there to help people. But if you get lost, find somebody in one of these lovely pink berry shirts, and they will absolutely help you get to where you're going. Last thing, Arugas. These are cool too. So Aruga Sports Bar, this is cool. This restaurant is literally right across the parking lot from where you're at. We hope to see you at the after party. We got a lot of feedback, and we took it, which is, hey, I don't drink alcohol, and I feel really uncomfortable being at these events, and I can never use my tickets or tokens. So, hey, guess what? You can use your tickets or tokens for Red Bull or non-alcoholic drinks or whatever you want, just so long as it's, I think the tokens are worth like $5, I think. So we want to make sure that everyone's taken care of. Also, that restaurant has a lot of, again, great options for different diet needs. They have vegan burgers, they have gluten-free buns, they have all kinds of cool stuff. So the tokens will be given out at closing ceremony. So be here, have ID as you're leaving. We'll dole out tokens into your hands. And we want to give a shout out because when you look at these, we've got this great outlet's completely floored. It's an alligator rolling on his back with a shotgun, by an artist called Stupid Shepherd. And that alligator's also on the CTF belt. And that alligator, I think, is going to be making a few more appearances in later B-sides. So this is it, I promise. So coordinators, we want your help. This year, it was awesome. We got something like 10 or 12 new coordinators. We got Steve, I'm going to forget people's names and I feel bad, but I'm going to say some of them. So Steve Hardy doing food, John McGee helping with the soldering station, Thomas over there doing the workshops. We have Bree, we got Julianne, we got all these different coordinators, and I'll have a list at the end so I make sure everyone gets thanked. But that's what allows this to happen. So if you want to help, and at the end of the day you say, man, I want to be involved. I want to be up on stage looking like a fool like this. Don't worry, I'll handle that part. But say, I want to be a coordinator. Email info@bsides to be a coordinator. And thank you. If you see someone in the berry shirt, thank them. They made this happen. And special thanks to the Full Sail team. Believe it or not, B-Sides didn't do any of this. They're an amazing team of AV folks, so very, very cool.